So the next thing I want to talk about, the multiverse of madness. Alex, I'll get your thoughts first. I didn't realize, like, I watched it after the Super Bowl. I'm like, there's no Multiverse of Madness trailer. Or actually, never mind. That's not true because I did text you because I did see the trailer before the Super Bowl. It was the Moon Knight thing I didn't see because I don't watch commercials during the Super Bowl because I care about the football game itself. Um,
No, football's
um,
dumb.
and the first thing I texted you, do you remember what it was?
Nope.
The leaks are true. Alex,
Oh yeah,
before we get before we get into that, what did you think about the trailer?
shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Shit was crazy. Um, I had a discussion with my friend around the time of the trailer when it was out. I think a big problem that this movie already has was the leaks. When you talk about this movie, man, you go into conversation about saying, "Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that Robert Downey Jr. was confirmed in the interview with Robert Downey Jr. that he's coming back for this movie?" And it's like, okay, what interview was this? Some interview he had like 3 months ago. I was like, if Robert Downey Jr. was confirmed, that would have been a little bit of a big topic of discussion. And I don't think that would have just flown under the radar because
Right.
that's a big thing with this show or with this movie is the leaks. You can literally say anything. Like, guess what, Drew? Um, Chris Evans is confirmed for the movie. My
I
source, trust me, bro.
Yeah, do trust me,
We
bro.
got
Yeah.
it. There's just like you can't do anything, and I think that's kind of the worst thing. I think this movie has some of the worst conversation ever in like
Well,
cinematic history.
yeah, there's some bad debates going on TikTok. I don't want to touch on those because they're stupid. Um, but Alex and I have talked about credible leaks here probably for 6 or 7 months now. And I remember we had the conversation about the multiversal Illuminati, and we'll start there first. Alex and I literally talked about that leak where we saw the Ultron bots and Professor X, and I'm like, oh my god, they actually did it! Like, I am surprised, Alex, that this trailer reveals a whole lot. It reveals the Illuminati. It reveals
And the
Professor X.
poster,
Yeah, Captain Carter's shield.
Deadpool.
I think it looks like him.
Yeah, maybe.
So, who do we think's on this team?
On Illuminati?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Superior Iron Man.
I don't know.
I'm
I
gonna
don't know.
take obviously Professor X.
Right.
I'm gonna take Captain Carter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take
Mordo.
Mordo. Sorry, I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Um, Reed Richards. Reed Richards.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm stuck. I'm stuck at a crossroads with who this final member is.
Maria
Um,
Rambeau.
Maria, Namor, or a recasted T'Challa.
No, I don't see the last two. Um,
I do. Namor was on the team. T'Challa was on the team in the comics.
I don't think they're gonna do that though,
I don't know why they wouldn't.
because there's 5 chairs and then there's Professor X's wheelchair. So I think it's just 6.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be more just in the background that, or like they
No,
could.
I was saying it's either
Oh,
one of
okay.
those three.
But I was also going to add that there are also quote unquote helpers that help out the Illuminati. So they could be helpers for sure. I don't know about T'Challa because they kind of don't want to recast that character. I know they could say it's a variant, but they kind of that's a sacred character, and I don't think they want
So
that
is
type of
Iron Man.
They don't want that controversy. Yeah, but it for different reasons, right? One's very much a cultural thing with T'Challa, and Iron Man's just Downey basically was a revolutionary for the MCU, but one's more of a cultural thing that had more of a
Yeah,
cultural impact, I think. Um,
I
and I'm
get
not
you. I get you.
I'm not devaluing what Downey did for the role and for the MCU as a whole, but it's what I think. Namor, no, because I feel like they want to introduce that character. in Black Panther 2. Um, so Professor X, Reed Richards, played by John Krasinski, because we kind of basically see it. We see like a person and then like a crust, but we can't see the four or
Yeah.
anything.
And then Captain Carter's almost confirmed
Captain
because of the
Carter for
poster,
sure.
and you can definitely see a person with long dark hair. So
So excited to see Captain Carter in live action.
mm.
Mordo, because we see him walking in the background with the sword, and he's the one who takes in Strange, who arrests Strange. Maria, I think
Maybe,
it's I think it's the actress who plays Maria, but she's gonna play a Monica Rambeau variant
maybe, maybe.
because Monica was originally I don't know, things changed though. I, people zoomed in on that picture, and I guess it's not Superior Iron Man.
No, you can definitely tell it's a person of color and a female person of color.
It just looks
Um,
really in that TV spot. It just looks like a dude with a mustache. It really does.
yeah, and then I don't know. It's to me, I think we're gonna see Tom Cruise as Iron Man. I mean,
Which, by the way, I'm
come
all
on,
down for. I'm all down for a
yes.
Superior Iron Man. It looks so
Now,
good. Like
granted, do I
the
think he's
art.
gonna survive? No,
No,
but still, I
I think I think Black Bolt will be a helper,
maybe.
and I think Baldur the Brave, which everyone's talked about, the Asgardian Baldur the Brave. I don't know what his relationship to Thor is. Again, is he a cousin or a brother or something like that? Uh,
Something.
he'll be a helper, but they're all gonna bite the
Yeah,
bullet because Crazy is basically confirmed to be the villain, Wanda Maximoff.
yeah.
Um, by the way, that's not a zombie. That's her with blood, and that's her
That's
being
her.
corrupted.
Yeah. I think here's the thing is what we're gonna see. We're gonna see like 5 total variants of Strange, including MCU Strange. Um, and we're gonna see probably 2 variants of Wanda.
What do you think the
Uh,
variants of Strange are?
so we have MCU Strange,
Yep.
Sinister Strange, Defender Strange.
Which one is that? Is Sinister one that we see at the end?
Sinister Sinister is the one that says things just got out of hand.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah, yep.
And then we see Defender Strange. We see like Zombie Strange at the end.
I think
These look
that's Defender Strange being corrupted because there's a shot of Defender Strange falling through
well.
something, and he has an eye cut out, just like
Well, I don't
that
know because
something.
we also see Defender Strange falling through like one of the star portals, and he looks kind of dead.
Right.
So, because his face is all like bloodied up and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's 4. Of course, we've seen Supreme Strange. Who was the other one? There was
Are you
another
talking
one.
about the one that looks like it has like 8 hands at the end of the TV spot?
Yeah, that's Zombie Strange that I'm referencing.
Okay.
Of course, we've seen Zombie Strange and What If.
Right.
Um, there was another Strange in the trailer somewhere. I'm pretty sure.
But there's definitely 2 Wandas, so I don't know how that's gonna play.
I think what's going to happen is she is going to go to a multiverse where her kids are alive, and she's going to go to a Wanda that never lowered the hex, and then they're going to fight, and
Okay.
then that could resort in the death of her kids,
Okay.
something like that, maybe. I do think, however, I think we're going to see potentially Wanda try to reopen the hex, and it's going to fail, and it's not going to be how she remembered it.
Okay. I could see that. So my thing is like something has to happen with the Illuminati. Okay, so Strange and Chavez are arrested by the Illuminati, it looks like, 'cause it looks like Chavez is in a box with Strange. So they're probably pissed that Chavez is basically multiversal hopping, probably because
Mm-hmm.
Wanda is after American Chavez, right? Because Chavez is able to travel through multiverses. and that's why she's. I really feel like that one of the opening scenes of that movie has got to be the fight with Gargantos or Shumagorath or whatever you want to call the
And I
tentacle
think
demon.
that's how Chavez and Strange meet.
Right. Um, and then we get the craziness, and obviously Strange doesn't know how this multiverse stuff is happening because he doesn't remember the events of No Way Home, or he doesn't remember
Yeah.
Peter. So,
Mm,
do you think he did some monkey business?
I think he definitely did something where he remembers. Because the thing that you need to remember is that, he's
It would
told, like,
totally be a
oh,
Doctor Strange move to do it.
yeah. Because we also have to remember he's told, like, oh, I did what I had to um, for the survival of our people. And it's like,
Right.
well, what did you do? What did you do? Because my thing is, if they have a problem with him using the time stone to look forward into 14,605 possibilities, why didn't they do anything when he did it? Or when he
Right.
came back?
Right.
Or when
So,
he used the time stone in, I think, Hong Kong in Doctor Strange? Or when he used it to fight Dormammu? Which, by
right.
the way, Where's Dormammu at? Why is he not in this movie?
Eh. And the other weird thing is like, is it just gonna be the Mordo variant, or is like the actual Mordo that like you set up in the end credit scene just not gonna show up? It's not gonna be a thing in this movie. Like you
I
clearly
don't
set
know.
up the actual Mordo, killing all sorcerers. By the way, I don't think Juan makes it. I don't
I
think
don't know
Juan's gonna make
either.
it. I don't think
The
Juan's gonna
trailers
make
are
it.
setting him up to die way too much.
Um,
Hey,
and
look,
my thing is,
let me just say this, okay? Wong is the technical sorcerer supreme. If you're gonna let Billy and Tommy live, go ahead and bring me a fully powered up Wiccan and let him be the sorcerer supreme, and I'm fine.
okay.
Then we can shake hands and have a deal.
I really think though this movie ends basically. I think Wanda like basically kills everyone. Like I
No, I think I don't think she'll kill everyone. I think she'll
oh
kill
I
every member of the Illuminati, though.
Oh,
I think,
100%. 100%. That shot that we see of her is like her corrupted and her with like blood. Like
yeah,
she's gonna kill everybody in the Illuminati. And I really think that an interesting thing that they could do is, and just from a power perspective. So we know how powerful He Who Remains was. Wasn't physically powerful, but was controlling everything.
yeah,
Kane's gonna be brutal. What I would really love is we establish Wanda as the big villain. Like everyone thinks she's the big villain, and everybody, the casual itself, kind of forgets about Kane. But then when you introduce Kane, you have Kane Killer, and then that's how you establish he's the top,
yeah,
he's the king. Because if Wanda's a villain, I don't want them to repeat the same story. Well, she becomes a good guy again and like joins up with Strange and stuff because we already did that. That was her arc from Ultron to that was her arc in Age of Ultron. I don't want them to
mhm,
do the thing like if she's a villain, keep her as a villain because she is a compelling villain, right? She's a very compelling villain, and
yeah,
that's where her story more resonates. Like it's she's done a lot of bad things, like more
yeah.
bad than good.
I think what a lot of Wanda stands need to remember is this girl was not introduced as a good person. She was a Nazi,
Right,
like she was a straight up just Nazi.
right. Yeah, and she's very much the same has the same story to Anakin, right? She very much falls into the ideas of
Yeah,
attachment, like obsessive attachment, right? To the point where she would warp reality. It's really
mhm,
odd because, like, in the Star Wars community, you'll have discussions about Anakin's problems, right? He's not who he's supposed to look up to. Um, Neither is Wanda, obviously, because she's what obsession is obsessive attachment to Vision,
mhm,
which is a bad thing, and that's what leads her down this dark path. And then, like,
yeah,
the most sinister line she has is like, "You use your powers, and you become a hero. I use them, and I'm the villain." Well, exactly, because even though Strange's actions were very dangerous, they've always usually had a positive outcome.
yeah. It's a thing that, like, because I think we should talk about the whole conversation around that line, um, because it's easily my favorite and least favorite line from the trailer.
Right.
The conversation that has had is so bad. And I'm sorry, if you are defending Wanda and saying, yeah, that's so true. No, then you completely miss the point of Wanda's character. Because it's like you said, Drew, you're not supposed to agree with what she does. Because I
Right.
think the difference is if we take some of the biggest moments from Strange and the biggest moment from Wanda,
By the way,
Wanda
I
creating the
want to add
hex.
this.
Oh, yeah.
I want to add this before you go. I'm a Loki fan, right?
Mhm.
Loki, and I like what they've done with his character, but like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, yeah, Loki's a good person. Yeah, yeah. He just tried to take over
Yeah.
New York and like tried to kill his brother numerous. Like, no, Loki's not a good person. I think his
Yeah.
character's interesting. You can like the character of Wanda itself, and I do myself. I think she's very compelling, and I love the way they're taking her as a
Mhm.
villain.
Yeah.
Um, but let's not defend the actions of the character. It's very odd.
No.
It's just very
It's
odd.
one of those things that it's just like, again, if we take the thing of her creating the hex, and you take Strange using the rings of Kafkal to gaslight society into forgetting who Peter Parker is, and his initial to make people forget who Spider-Man is, or make people forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. You got to compare those two or those three occurrences, and they're just so wildly different. And you can
Right.
take the first one with Peter Parker, people forgetting Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and the Westview Hex. Yes, both of them were the Westview Hex was made on accident. Wanda didn't know that how to do it. She just did it by mistake.
Right.
And the Rings of Kafkal that Strange does, those were on purpose. He intentionally did it.
Yep.
However, if you compare what happens or
The
what the
outcomes.
intent was, Strange did it because he wanted to help not only a friend, he wanted to help an innocent teenager who was framed for murder
Right.
and who was innocent. And basically Peter goes to him saying that he doesn't care that he's being affected by it. He cares that other people were affected by it in negative
Right.
ways. Wanda knowingly created the hex, and then after she was asked how she did it, she asked if Pietro agreed with what she was doing, and of course, Pietro asked or said like, "Oh, he didn't care. He thought it was cool." She continued going. She was
Right.
aware of her actions, and she wanted to keep going because
Right.
it was selfish. She was gaining something. She not only had her kids, but she also had her husband.
Yeah.
And so to me, my thing is if you're going to defend Wanda, maybe let's not defend her enslaving a whole town. Because
Right.
I think if you compare enslaving an entire town of people compared to gaslighting people to save a teenager's life and the people around him's life, so different. Yes,
So very different.
what Strange did was stupid because it ended up being the catalyst for opening the multiverse.
Yep.
Cool. But Wanda also took a part in creating one of the biggest Nexus events and creating the Hex and becoming the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. Right.
So it's like,
Yeah.
yes, both were bad. Both did bad things, but the intent was so different. And it's like if you're gonna use this argument of intent for other arguments of the MCU, then you gotta use them for this here too. Because in my opinion, Wanda is one of the most undefendable people of all time.
Right. Yeah. Just a really interesting discussion, but I'm excited. We definitely get a
Hmm.
showdown between Wanda and Strange.
Almost
I think
certainly.
I think Wanda wins.
Yeah. I think here's my thing also is like, that little thing when Strange approaches her and he's like, what do you know about the multiverse?
Right.
We see the two potentially different perspectives of, oh, it's a nice little white tree farm, and she's cutting the branches for some reason with wire cutters. Okay. Um, and then we see the other one. It's like a hellish red, and she's complaining about how things don't seem fair. I I initially thought that stuff at the "What do you know about the multiverse" stuff happened at the beginning of the movie, and the stuff about being the bad guy is at the end of the movie. But now I genuinely think they're like they're during the same time.
Do you think Wanda is using the Darkhold's magic then to trick
Oh
Strange?
yeah, we see
Yeah.
the Darkhold in the trailer. We see Strange playing with chaos magic.
Yeah.
which
You
I
think
don't
so? Do you
know.
think he gets it from Wanda somehow?
I don't think he gets the power. I think he can observe the power
Okay.
because Wanda's been using it. So
So yeah, yeah. So yeah. What do you think is up with the Illuminati? Why do you think they go after Strange and Chavez?
probably because they're just like, yo, Strange, what the fuck? You open the multiverse and then you want to go explore it now?
Right.
What are you gonna do next? Open us up to DC?
Um, that's definitely a reasonable explanation. Now, do you think that location is outside of time, like the TVA?
Yeah. There
Yeah,
was a good theory that I don't remember who said it. It might have been on TikTok or it might have been on YouTube. That Kang was a member of the Illuminati, or He Who Remains was a member of the Illuminati, and then he was essentially banished out, and then he went off and did his own thing.
that's fair. That's fair. Um, so I bet you their whole job is to capture dangerous figures to the multiverse. I bet you that when Stewart says that line, let's tell him the truth. Uh,
Hmm.
they got to figure out that it's not Strange's fault. That it's Wanda, and that's when the whole Wanda and the Illuminati thing happens, and then
Yeah,
it's gonna be a crazy film, man. Like we
yeah,
got a cartoon world. We got
yeah.
cartoon world, man.
My thing is like, you know, are we gonna see like who are we gonna see in this movie? Like we know we're gonna see some of the Illuminati. You know, we have some confirmed people like Professor X, Wanda, Strange, Chavez, Wong, so on and so forth. But like, are we
Yeah,
gonna
cool.
see some X-Men? Are we gonna see some Deadpool? Are
Some
we gonna
Deadpool.
see some Fantastic Four? Are we gonna potentially, you
See a
know,
Spider Man. We gonna see a
see
Spider
see
Man
see some spiders? Are we potentially gonna see not Tom Holland but Toby Maguire
or Andrew Garfield.
or Andrew Garfield? Are we
Are we gonna
are
see a
we
Tom Hiddleston?
are we gonna see are we gonna see some Sophia Di Martino?
I
Are we
don't
gonna
know.
see are we gonna see some Jonathan Majors?
Oh, I'd love a little Kane tease. I'd love a little Kane tease. By the way, what do you think? I know it's very, very far away. What do you think the end credit scene is gonna be?
Ooh, I think either teasing for Kang or something. Because this is what I was also talking about with my friends. Is after Kang, where do you go? Who do you
Probably
go?
Galactus or Doom.
My thing is, I feel like when you go towards Galactus or you go towards Doom, that feels like the end.
Maybe it is.
No, because you got to think, there's so many people we're missing from like MCU villains. Again, we're missing Doom, we're missing Mephisto, we're missing Galactus, we're missing Chthon. We're missing so many people right now.
Yeah,
It's just
we are.
like, could
And a
we
lot of mystical
really?
ones too. Like a lot of
Yes,
mystical, like
a lot of very
galactic.
powerful ones too.
Well, listen. I should rephrase that. I shouldn't say that it's gonna be the end, but I also don't want like 15 years, 20 years worth of movies. I know that sounds selfish of me, but like,
No, I would watch all of them all
oh,
over
I probably
again.
will. I probably will. But like, at some point, wouldn't you want it to stop?
Yeah, but
All good
maybe.
things must come to an end, right? I feel like an
Yeah,
end
in like
point's
40
beautiful.
years. Um,
Okay.
let me ask you this because this is
Disney plus
another
plus 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 plus, where
yes.
you're paying
Yes.
$75 a month. Yeah.
This is my big thing. Do you think that this movie could lead us to Avengers Secret Wars?
Oh, 100%. I feel like
I
this
think
is like the big setup to
yeah, because
um
I
event
know
yeah.
you must have seen the Avengers Kang's Dynasty fan art and whatnot.
Yes, I have.
And it's like, no, that doesn't. First of all, that'd be a shitty movie title,
Right.
and that's a shitty poster because it's just the Infinity War poster remade. Um, it's like, could you imagine if Secret Wars is the next Avengers movie?
I think that'd be nuts.
It's like we can bring because like through Secret Wars we get Miles Morales into the main comics timeline. We get a few other people. I'm pretty
I think
sure
that's how we'll
also.
also get uh Tom with the symbiote.
Yes. I don't know because I think um, I
And
think
if
what
they
they're
want to go
probably gonna
crazy,
do.
they
Oh,
want to go
yeah.
crazy. They could bring Robert and Chris back. Put the uniforms on again. Here's a check. I wouldn't want that, but like they could do
No.
that.
I think that could also be how we open up the Sony and Marvel verse up more. But you could
Yep.
always just say that these Sony movies take place in the MCU.
Yep.
You could easily merge the Venomverse into the MCU and say
Through
that,
Secret Wars. Through Secret
yeah,
Wars, you're saying? Yeah.
yeah, you could bring Venom in and all of that.
Raven, Morbius, and that's how you can do
Yeah,
your Sinister Six. Yeah.
yeah, and that's how we can get a proper MCU. And what's even better than that is we could even potentially bring in Andrew Garfield as the new main MCU Spider-Man
If you wanted to, yeah. Miles, like
because
you said.
Tom has said that he wants to take a break from the character. He wants to go start a family. Um, some cute babies with Zendaya, hopefully. Um, and Andrew obviously wants to keep playing Peter Parker.
I think Toby does, honestly, too. I think I don't know if Toby wants it as much as Andrew, but Toby is definitely like if he is approached, definitely
Yeah,
do it.
but like I think that's how we could do it. Because again, I think me and you have agreed. I think Tom is too young right now to have a Miles Morales and as his little sidekick to eventually
Right.
become the new Spider-Man heir. I
Yep.
think Toby's too old for it. I think Andrew's right at that perfect age where it's
Yep.
like, yeah, it would make sense for him to finally take some or have someone come in as Miles.
Yep.
Um, so that's just something to me. I think the obvious direction from here, and I think you know how we used to have because we don't get this shit anymore. I think the last time we seen this was Eternals, and that is like the Spider-Man will return, or Thor will like something like that. And I think we could easily see Doctor Strange will return in Avengers: Secret Wars.
Yeah. We'll see when their next appearances are going to be, but I think this almost. I try to think of the big trilogy right now of variant movies, setting up the idea of variants. I feel like right now the big projects in Phase 4, Loki, right? Loki is like the catalyst for all of that. Well, you could say Infinity War and Endgame, the time heist screwed everything up. But
I know,
Loki,
yeah. WandaVision, got to give credit where credit's
you could
due.
throw WandaVision, yeah. Spider-Man No Way Home's the big
Oh
starter,
yeah,
like the big kicker.
that
Like
was
Loki
that
and
was the
WandaVision, the teaser.
multiverse.
This is craziness, multiverse of madness.
Mhm.
And then Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is going to set up with your villain. Now, Kane won't be the main villain of that. That's going to be MODOK. But
Oh, so excited for MODOK.
Kane's going to I wouldn't be surprised if Kane came in at the end of the movie and murdered the Pym family. If I'm gonna be honest with you,
Maybe.
besides Ant Man, but that's his setup. And that little
Yeah.
city we see at the end of Ant Man and the Wasp, a little metropolis in the quantum realm.
Metropolis. What is
Is
this?
it Metropolis?
DC?
No, oh shit. What is it
No,
called?
that's something.
It starts with a K,
Not
doesn't it?
not Metropolis.
I would start. I think it's Catropolis. No, it's not Catropolis for sure. It starts with a K. I thought whatever. I thought it was an opolis at the
I
end. I don't know.
cannot believe you just said
I can't
that.
believe I said.
The shame
Uh,
that I feel right now is unimaginable right now.
um, but yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. I think that's gonna be the
Yeah.
big setup, and then we'll get some more stuff, and then in 2025, 2026, we'll get Secret Wars, hopefully directed by Joe Russo
I
and
just
Anthony Russo.
to me right now, the MCU feels so vast. It feels like, oh my gosh, it can literally go anywhere from here, but it also kind of feels like, but where is it gonna go? Where do you go from
Right.
this?
Well, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good and a bad thing, you know. Because I feel like right now, I feel like the only clear and easy thing to do is Secret Wars. This is literally a miniature Secret Wars event
Yeah,
happening right now.
100%. Yeah,
And I
100%.
mean, you got to think, Multiverse of Madness is almost certainly not only miniature Secret Wars, it's a variation of House of M. Uh, so it's like, come on now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
There's just
100%.
there's a lot going on right now, man. The
It
MCU is
it's exciting.
vast.
It's really
It
exciting.
is. It is. You just want to know what happens next. It's the first time I really want to know what the rumors are saying for the next Avengers movie. I doubt there are any. I doubt they've even
No,
started
no.
writing one yet.
Nope, nope, but they do have an idea. I'm pretty sure they do have an idea of what they wanna do, so I'm really excited, Alex, man. It's gonna be such a fun time. It's fun
Yeah.
time to be a fan.